This conference will now be recorded.
So we were talking about the transient tables and then failsafe. So you got some clue about failsafe, right? That is, failsafe is just used for disaster management. Guys, can you hear me? To recover your databases or recover your account. That is basically use the failsafe is used for. Okay, got it right? Yes, are you
Yes, yes, sir.
able to hear me? Yeah. So let's go back and look at the other parts of it. And now, one second, guys. Okay, hold on one second, guys. I'm gonna unshare and share. I have some issue here. Yeah, man. ఇవ్వకపోయాడు సైడ్ లో ఎక్కడ ఉంచి ఉన్నాను ఇక్కడ ఎక్కడ Guys, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. We can see.
Okay, cool. So we talked about this one, right? Transient tables, transient. So this transient, you can create transient databases, transient schemas, and transient tables. Okay, so these are like a physical one or permanent tables, but they won't have failsafe, so that you can have about 7 days of failsafe charges that is reduced when you create a transient table. Okay, and the other part of it, right? So whenever you are trying to have a staging environments, like you are trying to get a data, and then for example you have a full load, you full get the full load and then load it into your. So let me show you an example. Okay, okay, so this is your source, like for example Oracle, and then the table, some orders. It has about 100k records. Cards. Okay, okay, and then you have Snowflake, and then before that I have to tell you DB, some ComDB, schema. So C underscore supply chain underscore schema, and table name is something like this, our table. So when it comes to Snowflake, right? So you'll have the same. So we can say target Snowflake, and then DB. You can say ComDB underscore ORC. So you normally name which source that you have in Snowflake, and then schema, SC staging, and then you'll have another schema, SC underscore schema. Okay, and table orders, table orders. You are able to see this, right? So you have a table called orders, which is about 100k records, and in target you have Snowflake, which is the same database is ComDB, and then schema is SC schema, and the table is orders. The same here, you will create a database, you will have a schema SC staging, and you'll have a table called order, and you have another schema called SC schema, which is similar to um, the schema that you have in the source. We call it as a source similar schema as well. Source similar schema. And the table is orders. So when you're trying to get 100k records for the first time, you get into your staging 100k, and then you populate 100k here. Okay, and then the next day you'll have about 10k records. You put into the staging 10k, and then here you might sync up. There might be about 5 new records, 5k new records, or 105k, out of which 5 are updates or deletes or something, and the other one is new inserts. So this is how you populate. So if in case this schema, this table, this two will be transient. Transient. Reason, even if you lose, this is only for temporary purpose. Even if you lose this data, if a crash happens, and if you, even if you lose these two things, right, this table 100k records, you still have the data in your source. You can get it back. But here, when you get your data while syncing up to the main table, right, you don't need to pay the 7 days of extra fail-safe period data that you are going to save. So normally, um, whenever you are trying to design a staging schema or a staging table, right? So you normally go for a transient schema, transient table, or sometimes if you want to use the entire database, if you think this is a database, right? And this is a staging DB and score staging database, and then this can be transient as, and this is in a new database D the permanent DB. Yes, yes, source similar. That means similar to the source. And I'll say comp, and this is the schema. SC schema and table. So you can design like this, you can design like this, depends upon the use case scenario, so that you save a lot of money in the storage part of it. And whenever you're trying to do an incremental load, right, it's always truncate and load. You delete the entire set in this particular table and you load that. You don't need to worry whether the old record. You get the incremental part of it, and if the other day next day you have about 20K, out of which 10 are inserts, 10 are new inserts, and 10 are updates. You'll get 20K a year, and then it will be 115K. So we keep on updating. So you can use these three in the staging transient part of it. The reason why I'm explaining you this, right? This is the design part of it. Whenever they ask you, how do you design your tables, then you tell them if there are staging tables, probably I will better design them as transient databases or transient schemas or transient tables, so that I can save some storage costs. And you can have whatever the I told you, right? And data retention time in days. We're going to talk about it in detail. You can have it as 0 or 1. If you have it 1, then you'll have to pay 1 day of times, 1 day of the charges. It keeps the data, whatever the data that you do, the DML activity that you do on top of the table, and if you have too much of volume, you have to pay for it as well. 1 day is the default retention period. What happens? It keeps all the versions of the file with you. Are we clear about transient databases, transient schemas, and transient tables? Just can you
Yeah,
are you able
Shekhar,
to follow
like
me?
yeah, in the
Hmm.
in the staging area, we are going to use that transient database schema name and table instead of staging object.
Mhm. That is true.
One more thing,
So
Shekhar, suppose here if anything data is lost, then we can able to get it from source to staging. That's fine. If
yeah.
any data, suppose any data is lost from target table,
Hmm.
that case what we need to do? We don't have the data
So
into that.
the normal, yeah. So whenever you plan for the target table, right, you decide how sensitive your table is, and if you keep the data retention time of the table for 24 hours, if you can identify within 24 hours, then you can recover back yourself. If you
Mhm,
identify after 24 hours, you have to raise a ticket to Snowflake, you can get the data. But you have to identify before 7 days, because the data that you lose will be in the fail safe zone for only 7 days.
mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll talk in detail whenever you come to train travel and all this stuff, right? I'll explain you in more detail, but this is the concept. That is what the transient databases are for. Okay, to save your storage. Okay, are we clear? And then we can create an external table. So external table references. So for example, you have external table is nothing but where is your data stored when you have put your file in S3 buckets. So you have a file in S3 buckets, and then you are trying to load it into Snowflake. So how many times you have to pay for the storage? You have your data in S3 buckets and you are loading the data into Snowflake. So
Okay.
how many times you have to pay?
Only one time.
How is it one time? S3 buckets. Where is your S3 buckets? That
That
is
is
your account.
yes.
You have to pay for it, right? When you have a AWS account and then you put your files into S3 buckets, then you have to pay for the S3 charges. And when you load it into Snowflake, you have to pay for the data that is stored in the Snowflake as well again.
Okay.
Yes. Are you able to follow me? Are you confused? Or how is it?
No, Shekhar. So the data is resided in S3. If we are querying the data on S3, if you want to querying multiple times, we have to pay the charges on multiple times. That is the thing, Shekhar. Say.
No, no, come again, come again. Let me answer
So
it. Come again. What?
data is resided in S3 S3 in AWS side. So
Okay.
if if you want to process the data, I mean load the data into Snowflake, here
Mm-hmm.
I want to fire the query. I want to fire the query and load the data into Snowflake.
Mm-hmm.
The query processing, that case we need to pay that amount. Am I right?
Yes, you have to pay for the compute cost for loading the data. You have to pay for that.
If we fire the same query or like multiple times, we have to pay like multiple the
Yeah,
charges.
yeah. See, compute is part of whenever you execute any copy command, SQL command, everything is calculated. Your compute charges are based on whatever you're running. Why do you want to fire the query multiple times?
Mm, no, not multiple time. Multiple. The data is like query is different. The data is same. The same file we are going to extract the data from S3.
So, okay, that's fine. So the where is the file? That the file is sitting in S3. When
S3.
you're trying to go, yeah, when you want to query in your Snowflake, right? How do you query? You create a external stage and you get the file in. So the external stage is nothing but a bridge kind of thing, right? When it's a
Yes.
list or select $1, $2, but whenever you query the data you will have the compute charges. The compute charges are calculated in Snowflake. You have to pay for the compute charges.
Okay. Yeah, one more thing, Shekhar, I want to ask you. Here, the data is resided in
Mhm.
S3. Suppose the data is like
Mhm.
in the HDFS location. How do you ecosystem?
Mhm. Okay.
That case, mm, how it like I'm thinking
No,
hive
if
external
it ha-
tables. Hive external tables. Just we are passing the like
yeah,
location while table creation itself. The same manner
yes,
we are going
yes.
to do.
Yes, similar manner. Yes, I'll tell you. There is another point. Where is
Yeah,
your Hive right now? Is it in EMR or as in on-prem?
on premise.
Yeah, on-premise, you have a challenge. If it's on EMR, we can talk. I'll explain you how is the difference. Okay,
Okay.
hold on. But you understood, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So if you guys are not clear, you have your AWS account.
It will be two
Okay.
times, right, Shekhar?
Yes. Yes.
One is for
One is
AWS
you.
storage, one
Yes.
is for Snowflake storage.
Perfect. You have to pay two times. If you bring in your data through S3 into Snowflake, you have to pay for S3, you have to pay for Snowflake. Okay. Veena, can you hear me now? Is it better? So
Yep.
let me reconnect back. Hold on. Okay. Guys, can you hear me? Is it better?
Yeah, now we can
Yes,
able to hear you.
now it is better.
Is it still breaking or okay?
It's okay.
Okay. So you have to pay twice if you are trying to bring in your data into Snowflake via S3 because you have to pay for the S3 as well as you have to pay for the Snowflake storage, both of them. Okay. And if you have your files in S3 and you don't want to bring them, but you can still query them. How do you query them? By not bringing them into Snowflake. Can we query the files which are there in S3?
Um,
Query with the
yeah,
full form, right?
yeah, Shekhar. Like those things we need to keep. We need to
Yeah, how
keep the
do we query this?
yeah,
Go ahead.
with, with
Using
Snowflake or like without Snowflake, Shekhar?
No, with Snowflake. I'm asking with Snowflake. Can we query the data,
we
S3
can query.
data from Snowflake?
Yes, sir, we can because we are going to create an external stage. From that external stage, select $1, $2, like that also we
Perfect.
can select
So
the data.
we do have, yeah, you have already created an external stage and you can query from this stage. You can, if it's a CSV format, see $1, $2, as good as the internal stage. The same thing with JSON, then you have $1 only. So you can still query the data in the stage. And you can create a view on top of it and use that view to load the data into a table, right? Instead of you cre- creating a table, you can have another option thing called external tables. So the external tables is you just create an external table on the fly. It uses the file format that you have given, and then it parses the data and shows you the data. You are not actually creating a table. You are just referencing the data and trying to read the table. And external table, right? You can join with any other tables and then do all this stuff. But the data is not in Snowflake. Where is the data? The data is in S3 only.
S3,
You have
S3.
created a wrapper. Yeah, you have created a wrapper around it, and then you are telling the data, and then you are trying to read the data from S3 on the fly.
So it's like Athena.
Athena is like, yeah, Athena is still, yeah, basically kind of thing. Yeah, the data is in S3, and then you are trying to create an external table based on S3 data. It doesn't really create a table. It's just a pointer where on the fly it parses and gets you the data.
Yeah.
Are we clear?
Yes.
External tables reference data files located in cloud storage. Okay, and external tables can store file level metadata.
Shekhar sir, one question here. How are we bringing data into the stage from S3? Is it the data, same data when we load from on-prem system to S3?
Santosh, can you repeat that? No, on-prem to, you mean your
No, my question is, yeah, we are bringing S3 data to stage, right? But without reading S3, how do we bring the data into the stage?
without what is that?
Without reading from the S3, how can we bring data into the stage?
No,
Without
I
reading from.
think we are actually linking the S3 with the stage. It is not actually bringing the data, it's actually a linkage which we will create. Correct me if I'm wrong, sir.
Yes, that is like a bridge that you're building. Both of them in the cloud. You don't need to bring data into cloud again. Because S3, there is a way that you can link. You can build a bridge. And then when you say list or select $1, it goes and gets the data from you. Or if you say copy into a table from that particular external stage, it reads from S3 buckets and loads the data into your table. You don't need to upload anything into Snowflake. It's already there. Upload is only from on-prem to cloud. Or if you're trying to read from cloud, you would have already uploaded into your S3 buckets or Azure blobs or somewhere else where you'll be reading into Snowflake.
Little confused, sir. What I'm thinking, sir, from consider the we have a file in on-prem and we are loading into S3. While loading into S3, we will bring that data from on-prem to stage. Then we move that data to S3, right?
Mm-hmm.
While
Okay.
while we are doing vice versa, if you want to
Mm-hmm.
read it from S3, again we will have to bring it to stage or to particular then from particular table. What I'm missing here is, are we reading the same data when we are loading into S3 from on-prem, or is it same data, or it is different from like it is a second time we are just making it from S3 to stage? I'm just a little confused there. How
No,
exactly it is?
no. Your use case is not clear to me. So let's think that why are you
Mhm.
reading back is my question. Okay. Let's think you have a table oracle, the same scenario, right? I'll copy this
Mhm.
data. And this is AWS,
Yeah.
your S3 buckets. Okay. And then
Yes.
once this is thing that your 100K records you have generated a CSV that is an on-prem on Linux box or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Now you loaded this 100K records CSV into S3 bucket, right?
Yes.
Is that what you're
Yes.
talking? And now
Yes.
this
Yes.
is Snowflake. We'll create an external stage
Mm-hmm.
and we can read the data, load the data into a table, into orders table. Okay. See this particular thing
Okay.
we are talking about. This is the intermediate part of it. So you can get it into S3. From S3 you can load it into staging table, and there you can load it into target table, right?
Okay.
Are we clear or still confused?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead, Shekhar. Mhm.
Yeah. Fine.
So, so how do we load the data into orders table? How do we load the data and how do we read the data?
Yeah, select
Select
the $1, $2, and so on.
one,
Yep,
two.
$2.
Okay. And how do we load the data into table?
Copy command.
Copy into at
Copy
the
into
rate
main
of
table.
yeah, copy into table from at the rate of my external stage,
Stay.
right?
Yep.
Are we good so far? This particular table will be your staging table. Copy into where are you trying to copy?
Copy into like target table
DB
or something.
com DB ORC com DB underscore ORC underscore stage dot SC underscore staging dot orders. We are pushing into a staging table. From there, this is the external stage. We are pushing into external stage, and from there, we will insert into not insert, merge into. If you look at this, right? Comp underscore DB underscore SS ORC underscore SS source similar. When matched, update. When not matched, insert. Are we clear?
Shekhar, till this point, like the copy the data into main table, that's fine. From my external stage to,
Okay.
yeah, the data is
Okay.
loaded from staging to main table. What are the,
So
yeah,
similar, target table is synced up. Okay, fine.
yeah,
What is your
yeah.
question now?
Next one, can you tell me this one, merge this point?
See, so first thing, whenever you're right, so incremental data, you'll have insert, update, delete, whatever it wants. And
Yes,
when you have the target table, i- if it's an insert, you will insert it. If it's an update, you have to go and update your target table. If it's a delete, we normally go and do a soft delete. We
yes.
will have another column says is deleted flag and we'll do a soft delete. So this is everyday incremental data. That's what we do. For the first time when you have the full load or the historical load, we'll do one time. From there incremental you do every day and then sync up your target table, but you get the incremental data into a staging table, and from there you can sync into a target table.
Okay, so here we are writing the staging table to a main table sync up.
Yes, that is true.
But I have one doubt here that instead of loading to the
Mhm.
staging table, we can directly load to the permanent table, right? That is also possible.
Definitely it's also possible, but
And
you
why
will
we
have
go?
more control when, yeah, you can get it into staging area, and from there you can directly load it into target table. You don't need to have a staging table, but staging table you will have much more control. You'll get to know what data is came in, because whenever you do the next day, you truncate and load, so you'll have one day's data in your staging table. You can see how much data has been loaded. We can definitely do whatever the question that you ask. You can definitely do. We don't need a staging table or staging database. We just need the staging area where we can get the data, and from there we can do it. But you'll have much more, because for example, if you have some failures while you're trying to merge the data, and there are some transformations that you have to do, so staging table, it gives you much more comfortability or much more flexibility to handle all kinds of stuff.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so now you guys are clear with S3 and S3 to this one, and I
Yeah, yeah.
think somebody asked you, are we all clear? Reading the same data, I did not understand that particular. Somebody asked me, reading the same data. I think Santosh, so who is confused? Who told me confused?
No, Shekhar sir, it was me. Like what I was thinking is, while bringing back data from S3 to stage, we were reading, but I got it. It is the same data while we are reading from, while we are putting a file from on-prem to S3, we are referring the same stage, right?
Yes, yes. Now, what is your end goal? You
Okay.
want to load your on-prem data into Snowflake for your analytical purposes. You are going through the route of S3. You get the data into S3 bucket, from there load into the same data you will be loading. And for example, if you
Okay.
have orders data, you will have orders data every day, because an incremental part of it. And the table will have the orders file will be stored in S3 buckets in a different folder. Today it's about 24th, you will have one file. 25th, you will create another folder with 25. You will create another folder with 26. And each and every day's folder will be under each, and you will organize such that the files are, or you will have the file name with underscore date, which is 24th, 25th, 26th, and you try to load that particular thing into the table.
Okay, okay. This motto is instead of reading again it from there, you make use of the same stage while loading into the S3 bucket. From there, we will have to proceed. Correct? Am I correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
You will
Clear,
get
clear,
into
sir.
the same S3 bucket. You will get your files into the same S3 bucket. If it is the same file, try to append the file with a different date, format, or name, or you have to create multiple folders. Everyday data. If you have high volume of data, you create a folder and then load that copy into table from that folder rather than from the entire folder. My external stage slash 24th April 2021. You will have all the files. You say copy into table from stage slash April 24 underscore 2022 slash. So all the files under that particular folder will be loaded into a table.
Okay, got it, sir. Clear. Thank you.
Okay. The same way, instead of trying to load the data into Snowflake, you can create an external table. That means you are not actually creating a table. You are creating a structure of the table. Whenever you query the table on the fly, Snowflake, what it does is, whatever the file format that you have mentioned, it goes and then parses the data in the S3 and then gets you the data. Are you able to follow me? For example, you have a file in stage and the file is CSV. Can we read the file from the stage? Internal stage.
Yes, sir.
We have put a file. Yes. How do we read that?
We'll give a file format, sir. Select $1.
Yeah, you read from the, yeah. You create $1, $2, and create an alias, and then use the file format. Based on the file format, it parses you and shows your data. The same way here, you can create an object called external table, and whenever you query, it goes and reads that particular. This external table is only from cloud storage. The way that you read from the internal stage, you can create an external table which points to your cloud storage data or files, and then whenever you query them, it automatically parses based on the file format and gets you the data. Are we clear?
Okay. Yeah.
It is nothing but
So
creating
external,
file. It is creating nothing but a structure for that particular file and getting the data, as in Oracle, right?
yes,
Okay.
yes, the data is not stored anywhere. The data is still in your S3 buckets. You are not charged for the storage because you did not bring any data into Snowflake. You did not copy any data. Did not insert any data into Snowflake.
Sir, it looks like concept of JSON, sir. So, yes. Am I right,
Similar to
sir?
JSON only. Yeah, little bit similar to JSON. Yes, the same way. Whenever you read, it gives you the data in JSON format only. Even if you read the CSV file, if it is an external table, it gives you in JSON format. Let's look at it. We'll just learn the theory part of it and let's look at it. So the JSON, the external table by default will have two pseudo columns: metadata file name and value, because whenever you read from external table, it gives you in JSON format. And JSON, we have seen that, right? Whenever we are trying to get the column values, value is a pseudo column, so it will have value where it has the entire JSON, and then the file name, from which particular file name I'm trying to get this particular value. Are you able to follow me?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, we'll see an example. You can easily figure it out. So metadata value is a variant type. That means whenever you say select star from external table, it will have only one column and it's of type variant, and name of the column is value. And then you'll have another column called metadata file name, from which particular pseudo I give the name of each stage data file included in the external stage, including its path in stage. But when you are trying to create external stage, you have to use external stage only. Without the external stage you cannot, because these external tables are all from the cloud storage. So you'll have an external stage, and from the using that external stage you'll create an external table. So
Okay.
whenever you create an external table, right, you have you can use auto refresh is equal to true parameter, and then you have to go and then manually refresh for the first time. Are you able to follow me?
Yeah, Shekhar. Good.
Okay. The value column structures rows in a CSV data file as JSON objects with elements identified by column positions. Example. So whenever you are trying to read from a JSON file, right? How do you read it? Column colon key. The same way, the column is whatever the column value colon key. C1, C2. I'll show you an example. Okay. External tables, you cannot, no clustering, no cloning, no data sharing, no XML data, no time travel. You cannot have XML data as external tables. So these are some of the other things you cannot share. We'll talk about all of them in detail later. But these are the stuff that you cannot do when we come to each and every topic, right? I'll explain you why external tables cannot be done. Okay, are we good?
We are good.
Yes, sir. Probably an
Okay.
example will make us clear.
Yes. So create stage. We have created a stage, and create a replace external table. My external customer with location is equal to at the rate of whatever the stage that you have, and you have a folder which has customer, and then if you have any other folder you can point to the folder as well, and auto refresh is equal to true. Okay. Alter external table my external customer refresh. This is a manual refresh. Whenever you say auto refresh is equal to true for the first time, it gets you the data. And whenever, for example, you have a folder called customer and you have 3 files in your S3 buckets, the customer folder, and now you added another file. What happens to the data in the table, external table? Will it bring automatically? No. You have to manually refresh it. When you say manually refresh, it goes and brings you the 4th file as well. Are you able to follow me? Whenever you create it for the first time, it brings three files data. When you say auto refresh is equal to true, if you don't say auto refresh is equal to true, you won't get any data unless until you go and say alter external table name refresh. Then it brings in all the data. And after refreshing, after a while, you added couple of more files in the S3 buckets. But the files that you added in S3 buckets are not automatically uh, propagated into your Snowflake. You have to go and say alter external table refresh, then only you'll get the data. Because Snowflake doesn't know that you have already populated 2 files in the S3 buckets, right? Are you able to follow me?
Yes, sir.
So you can drop external table. The data is loaded into variant column. For querying the data using value function, we can use the value column name C1, C2, C3. We'll see this example. Okay. I think I lost my AWS account console, right? If I'll create a new one. Give me 2 minutes, because if I want to show you this example, right, I have to create a new one. No, sorry. AWS media. It did not even ask me congratulations, thanks for signing up. I did not do anything. I did not give my email ID. What? Go to the AWS management console. Sign into the console.
Shekhar, I have one doubt here.
Hmm?
While creating
Go
the
ahead.
Snowflake account itself, it will be asking us to where to create it, like AWS or Azure or Google Cloud, right?
Hmm.
Once we created with AWS, for example, we will have a access to this AWS also by default, right? But we cannot do
No,
that.
no, that is only Snowflake. You cannot access through Snowflake to AWS. That will completely
Okay,
how Snowflake uses AWS internal to Snowflake. It's not shown to us.
okay. But if we wanted to do anything like creating anything S3 and loading, we have to do it manually as we are doing now. Okay.
No, yeah, that is a different account. You have to sign for AWS account. You should have an
Yes.
AWS account, and if you have your data on the AWS account, then you can interact with Snowflake. These two are two different things. Snowflake is Snowflake. Even though Snowflake talks to AWS, you you don't have any access to AWS anything. I explained you internally it uses and how it works. That's but we
Yeah.
don't have any access to AWS to Snowflake. Snowflake means Snowflake. That's it. Final. Snowflake will take care of the data ingestion. Snowflake will take care of the payment to AWS. Snowflake will take care of everything. We don't interact with AWS through Snowflake, but you can have another AWS account, and you can have your data, and you can store your data, and you can interact with Snowflake to your AWS account. Got it?
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Create a free account. In Chrome, it has already saved my email ID or something, so it's not. So unless until I create an account, new account, I cannot do that. Hold on, guys. Bear with me, guys. Sorry, I lost. Hmm. Okay, hold on, guys. I have to fill in the details. Just give me 2 minutes. I'm entering my credit card details to sign up, and then we can do that external staging exercise. Give me 2. I'm gonna unshare for a while, and then we can connect back. Okay.
Okay.
మధు బంగారు నీ ఫోన్ కి ఓటీపీ ఒకటి వచ్చింటుంది చూడు. కాలేదు. ఆ? ఎంత? 22747. నరసమ్మ, నా ఫోన్, గెట్ మీ ఫోన్ ప్లీజ్. Sorry guys, it took a while. I created an account right now. I'm just logging into the account. Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, Shekhar, we can able to hear.
Yeah, I'm just trying to log into AWS console right now. Let's see.
Sorry, here, what is the difference between root user and IAM user? We can choose anything, right?
Because you are the boss of this, right? You can choose. But normally, when you log in to your corporate environment, right, you won't have the root. You're just a
Oh,
user. They would have created a user and given it to you. Okay.
okay, okay.
What's happening? It's not moving anywhere. Oh, I don't see any of them here. Sign into the console. The last 15 minutes of the time because of this stupid thing. Okay. Okay. By continue, agree to so and so, create a new account. I'll say new, create a new AWS account. You're already confirmed, right? It's sorry. We have to next. And then 3PWNE PB2GW3. Oh, its services may take up to 24 hours to fully activate. Oh my god.
No,
Sorry.
sir. Can you click to complete your AWS?
That is what I've done, right?
Yeah. Today morning also I got the same. Okay? You can close the browser and try, sir. After few minutes I'm able to log in. I got the same issue, but I got few minutes after it log.
Did I do it from cloud, right? I'll go to Firefox. PB5CN8. Yes, you're correct, man. Cool. Now,
Thank you, sir.
thank you. Create a bucket. SF training and SF training weekend. US region, APAC, News, Mumbai. Okay. Block all public access. I acknowledge that. Disable server side description. Create bucket. Okay. And then the bucket got created. Learn more, learn more. Okay, the bucket, right? I'm gonna upload a file. Add files. Upload.
Destination is required to somewhere it is required. I think S3
If
slash.
you, yeah, that should be fine. That means this is my.
Yeah, while creating stage it is required.
Yeah, that should be okay. That I think. If you go back, you're gonna lose it, and you can come back and look at the data again. So emp.cs we have already loaded. Okay. Now I have to do the entire thing, the role creation, all this crap, because I'll just do by user IAM. But I have to create a this one, right?
Policy, a policy
Policy
required.
needs.
Policy.
Yes. These my account details. Copy and then policies. Create policy. Choose the service. I can see S3. Can go here. Prefix is star. Whenever you try to copy from the file, make sure you give only star. And the bucket name SF training week. And if you want to refer this, right? I can say star everything. Give me all this stuff. Okay. I can next steps. Next review. Name, training. Create policy. And then I got this policy. I'm gonna create a user. Add user. programmatic access. Next, permissions. Attach a policy. Okay, select the policy. Create user. Okay, I can download the file.
Download.
This is my username. This is the password. This is the access key. This is the secret access key. This is the console link. Okay, so this is what it is, and then I have to go back. Where is my file? User, right? Create a replace stage. I have to use this. So we got connected here. So I'm gonna paste it. And my bucket name is this one, right? Week. WKEND. Oh my god. I made a mistake. The policy, right? Okay. Go back to the policies. IAM. The bucket name I made it as the wrong. WKND, I think. Policies. Okay. What is the name of the bucket? Okay. Okay. Done. So my okay, and access key ID, right? This is my access key, and then okay, and my password. Okay. List at the rate of my S3 stage by user. I got my emp.csv. Okay. Now create or replace external table. Okay, emp underscore ext with, I forgot the syntax. Let's go back and check it out. With location is equal to location equal to, this is directly underneath that one, right? My S3 stage by user. My S3 stage by user auto refresh is equal to true. Width is used 2 times. Yeah, we don't have a file format. You have to give the file format because we are reading from the stage. This stage we have already given a file format, so it's not asking here. If not, you have to give a file format. Are you able to follow me? When you created a stage, you can associate a file format to this stage. And when you're trying to use that stage, you don't need to explicitly mention the file format because it takes from this stage. Here, when I created my file stage, I did not mention any file format, right? It just created a stage. So if haven't created, right, then you have to give the file format. File underscore format is equal to my CSV format. Auto refresh select star from emp underscore ext. See, you got 15 rows in JSON format. C1, C2, and all this stuff. And if you want to extract this, so I can say metadata dollar file name. If you have so many records, you will get distinct. Okay, so it's reading from metadata, and then this is the value. If you say star, right, star is nothing but comma star. See, if you go back and look at the column name of this particular data set, right, you will have value. So these are the two metadata pseudo columns that you have. These are the two pseudo columns.
Shekhar, one doubt I have. Actually, we have loaded the .csv file, right? But data is showing as a JSON format.
Yes, that is what it is. Whenever you create external tables, you will get the data in this particular format only. And you cannot have XML data as an external table. So whatever CSV or JSON or whatever you do, you get it as an XML format.
JSON format, okay.
Yes, JSON format only.
Okay.
And if you want to extract the values, how do we extract the values?
With the value.
Column colon key. What is the column for this particular entire set?
Value.
So what do we have to write here?
Select value
Value
colon C1.
and key is C1.
See,
So I'm gonna have int you can have it, right? So this is what, and then you can say EMPNO. Okay. So now I'm gonna have one more file in the this particular thing. If I go to S3 buckets, right, I have only one file there, S3. Okay, I'm gonna upload one more file. emp2.csv. Upload. Okay, so how many do we have here now? Two files. If I go and get the value, right, I still have only 15 because you have created and uploaded a file in S3 buckets, but that is not refreshed into Snowflake yet, right?
It's not
Was it
refreshed.
refreshed into Snowflake?
No, no, no.
So how do we refresh that?
So, like using alter command or something.
Alter
On the
external table
external table refresh.
emp underscore ext refresh. So cmp2 dot register new file registration successful. So you have 30 rows here. Got it?
Shaker, for the same bucket, can we upload employee.txt file and we can do that?
I'll clear your curiosity as well. Add
Okay.
files mp.json, right?
Text file.
Upload. Done. And then I'll say refresh, registered. What is the file format that we have used here while we are trying to create the
Okay.
external table?
So for CSV format,
Yeah.
here
Here
we
it's
are
a
trying
JSON
to
format.
browsing JSON.
Yes. It was not able to understand what it is. Got it?
Okay.
Okay.
Sir, sir, if I have three files in S3 bucket, I want to read only one file and load it. Is it possible, sir?
Yeah. Why not? Okay, 1 second. You have to, but when you have created an external table, that's different. Then you have to tell pattern is equal to and then filter that particular file only. I want only CSVs. You have to filter that. You have to tell them that I just want to need only CSVs. If that is the case, right? When we create, I forgot the star dot. I don't remember. Let me see. I forgot the syntax. I'm trying to, yeah.
This file pattern like just only filtering for only CSV file, right?
Yeah, I don't.
Let's I have 10 CSV files. Out of 10 CSV
Hmm?
files, I am going to process or load the data only one CSV file. 1 to 10 CSV files are there. I want to be load like first CSV file. I don't want the rest of the CSV files.
You have to come up with some regular expression and
Mm-hmm.
should create the format. Even if here it's saying invalid regular expression format. CSV, I'll just say, or I can do one more thing. Slash star dot CSV. I don't know whether it works or not. Let me see. No, it's not format. No, it's not even working here. No. You have to create. You have to use a pattern, but I don't know. I forgot to remember the pattern that we tried to create. Right? It says. What is the pattern that we are trying to? This is a regular expression that we have to use. Star dot CSV should be okay. This is what I have done. Invalid regular expression. 1 second. I have to give a dot. Select. So there's a dot missing. Dot star CSV. So in a regular expression, you have to start with a dot or something. So let's go ahead and see. I got my records. Now I did not delete the JSON, but I created using the pattern and only filtered all CSVs from this particular folder. Are we good? And then, so this we don't need that. So you can drop an external function. I've shown you how to create this. Okay, MV external table. So pattern, right? Regular pattern. Auto refresh is equal to true. File format. So and so file AWS SNS topic. That we're going. Okay. So now we have seen that whenever we load the data into Snowflake, right? Say S3 buckets, you have to manually go and refresh. So there is a mechanism where you can go ahead and then automatically based on the notification event on S3 buckets, we can refresh the data. So how do you set up that? Using Amazon SQS. SQS is nothing simple queue service. We use a simple queue and then we notify whenever there is a new file added, right? We tell them notify Snowflake so that there is a new action and the external table gets automatically refreshed. Are you able to follow me, guys? Whenever you are trying to load any file into S3 bucket, that means you have loaded a file in S3 buckets, but you want to what do you mean? You want to notify Snowflake that there is a new file added and it has to external table has to automatically refresh that. You got it
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Let's do that. So these are the steps that I have clearly given. Create a stage. We have already created a stage. Create an external table. We have already manually refresh the external table. Yeah, we have done that. Configure notifications. Describe external stage. Show external stages. Copy notification channel. Describe external stage my S3 by user, right? AWS key is this one. Show external stages. Show stage. What is the command? I forgot the command. Hold on one second. Show external tables. Sorry. And in this external table, right, you have emp.ext and there is something called notification channel. You have to remember ARN. So this is a SQS notification channel. The moment you create an external table, by default it will have an SQS enabled account number. Like whenever we created the role, it will have a role ARN. Whenever you have policy ARN. And whenever you create an account, you will have an account ARN. Similarly, whenever you create an external table, you will have a notification channel, nothing but SQS notification channel. This particular external table can listen to this particular, whenever you configure this, right? This is the stuff that you need to configure. Let's go and see. We have to now configure S3 bucket. So let's go. This is the buckets, right? Properties. Because we are trying to notify Snowflake telling that if anything happens on this particular bucket, any event like insert or there is no delete, put or get or any event, right? We can configure that event. So go to this particular thing and then server access. You see, right? Event notification. We clicked on the bucket and then we clicked on the properties of the bucket and we came to event notification. So create event notification. Event name notify Snowflake external table. Okay, I don't have any prefixes. If you want to have any particular file that you want to prefix and any extension that you want to prefix, so these are the actions. All object create events, put, post, copy, multipart, upload. All object delete events if you are trying to delete this particular thing, right? Restore, we don't want to restore. This is replication, we don't want to do any replication. Destination, what is your destination? That means what are you trying to do? You have a event and you are trying to communicate the event, and which particular destination. Is it a lambda function, or is it SNS topic, or SQSQ? We'll say SQSQ. Choose from your SQSs and enter SQSQARN. The QARN for your external table is this one. Whenever you create an external table, it creates a QARN for you. SQSQARN, account research number, for this particular external table. You copy this, come back, paste. You have the ARN pasted here. Okay, and then I'll say save changes. Okay, now I'll go to my objects and upload add files. So how many files do we have here? How do you get, how can we see the files of the external table?
You can list, right? List at the rate stage.
A list is stages. I'm asking for external table.
Okay.
Oh, metadata file common.
Color file from emp underscore ext. If you say distinct, you will see the number of files. You have 2 files that have been part of your external. Now I'm gonna go and then do, where is this particular thing? emp3. Now I'm in, where am I? Which particular directory? emp3.csv, open, and then add files emp4.csv. Okay, I'm gonna upload. Did I upload? Successful. Close. Okay. It might take a while, couple of minutes to get you, 1 or 2 minutes. Then we can come back and see. Okay. The same way, if you delete anything, you can, the automatically refreshes the SQSQ. So whenever you create an external table, you'll have an SQSQ ARN that is part of your external table. You can set up an SQSQ notification on your bucket, and then it notifies that the SQSQ goes and sends out a communication. That means a Snowflake will be listening to that particular queue, and then it gets you the data. It might take about couple of minutes. Okay, this is pretty much about that particular thing. So configure receive notification, name of the event notification, auto ingest Snowflake. Select the object, create all, object removed. Send to, select SQSQ from the drop down list. Select add SQSQ ARN. Paste the SQSQ name from the show external tables output. Manually refresh the external table metadata again. Configure security. External table if you want to do it. Limitation of external table auto refresh. So you can do per day a maximum of 100 refreshes. You can do only 100 refreshes. Can you see this? EMP, we have loaded EMP3 and EMP4. Are we able to get the EMP3 and EMP4 here? Did I do any manual refresh? No. The moment you have set up an event notification on the S3 bucket, and it and the external, the ARN that we have mentioned, the external table is part of an SQS queue, and when you configure the SQS your SQS queue to the ARN of the external table, the moment an event happens, like when you put a file or delete a file, it communicates to this ARN, and then the external table automatically refreshes the files. The same way, if you delete also, it takes out the files. Are we good, guys?
So the data is like available in the S3 buckets. So I mean, whatever the latest data is like uploaded in the S3 bucket, those data is going to be refreshed in that Snowflake
Yes, automatically.
automatically.
Hmm. Okay, that is pretty much about the S3 buckets. So yeah, it's already 5:45. We'll call it a day today, and we'll proceed with the other stuff tomorrow. You understood,
Uh,
right?
Shekhar, one quick question here. So
Hmm.
if you are created that like event notification, then automatically the process will be
Automatic. Yeah, the moment you keep
yeah.
on adding, the data gets refreshed into your table automatically whenever you query the external table.
Okay, okay. I read somewhere like Snowflake also doing the same kind of stuff, right?
Sorry, come again. Snowflake also.
Yeah, I read somewhere in that like a book like I mean Snowflake also like getting the data and pushing
Snowpipe,
the
snowpipe. Yeah, yeah, sir. Yeah, yeah. Something similar. Yes, that is true.
okay, okay.
Something
Sir,
similar. Yes.
I have a doubt, sir.
Mhm.
I was
Sure.
asked a question, what is the difference between time travel concept and the transient table concept? Because uh, they both look similar. He asked me to distinguish it.
Now, time travel is you can go to any particular point of time, and then at that particular point of time, what is the snapshot of your table? That means what is the data of your table? You can query that. And transient table, you ask me time travel, the transient, right?
Yes, yes. He's
Transient
asking
table is a
me
table.
when we have like time travel concept only, then why someone will create a transient table which is not fail safe? Like such way
No,
he
no,
asked
no.
me.
No, come again. Ask me the question one more time.
He first asked me about the transient table and its fail-safe mechanism, whether
Hmm.
it is fail-safe or not. So I told it's not fail-safe.
Transient.
Then he asked me whether when we have the time travel concept only, why do we use this transient table? Like that he asked me.
No, 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 I'm a little confused. So why do when we have the time travel concept, why do you need to create a transient table? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So when you have those two things are different, meaning time travel is if you want to look at the snapshot of a particular point of time, you go and query the table and get it. Transient table is a table where you don't need to create have the what do you call the fail safe part of it. When on the table is if there is a system failure, you cannot remove it. But why do you means you want to save the storage charges for 7 days? If I have some temporary
Mm.
tables, you cannot use temporary tables for all of them. When you create transient tables, it works like a physical tables. You can give permissions on that to all the users, and you will save this particular. But when you are trying to do a time travel, right? Then everybody at a particular point of time they have to go and use the queries. So and then point of time, what is the data inside? So that is a convenience for you to use. This is a table. The data that is there in the table, everybody can use that, and
Yes, sir.
everybody can go and
Even
do the time. Yes.
yeah, sir. Even I got confused. Like there are two different concepts, and he's comparing those and asking me.
Yeah,
I'm thinking that whether I missed a point or something like.
no, no. So that is two different concepts. He's trying to ask. His question is, you already have a time travel option. Why do you need to create a transient table? Who said
Hmm.
we wanted to create transient table? My creation of transient table is for a different business scenario. If I have to compare any data, I want to look at if I lost any data or if I want to take a snapshot of a data particular point of time, then I use time travel. Or if somebody has dropped the table, I can undrop the table and recover the table. So this is what I use for time travel. Transient is just a table where you don't have only the fail safe, you have everything else, and then you can treat it as a regular table and you can grant privileges like a regular table and all this stuff.
Okay, sir. I just told him like I took the like temporary table and compared both of them, like transient and temporary. When we do debugging and all, along with other users like QA and all, we can use transient table like that. I told.
Okay. Yeah, those two are two different topics altogether, concepts, and we use them in two different scenarios. Transient table is just a table which doesn't have fail safe. That's it.
Okay, sir.
Maybe he was expecting cost-based reasoning.
No, no, cost is not a different
Mm.
story, right? Storage
No,
consumption.
for the time travel, we need to buy storage, right? For
No,
transient table,
no,
we
no,
don't
no,
need to.
no. Time travel,
For
you can travel
permanent
up to
and
whatever.
charges will be different, right, sir?
Sorry,
For permanent table and transient table, compared to them, only charges will be
the
different,
store,
right?
yeah, storage charges. You'll save 7 days of fail-safe storage charges. That's it. Apart from that, nothing else. Both of them behave the same way. If there is a failure and the time travel tables cannot be restored from the fail-safe, but the regular tables can be restored. That is the only difference.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. Okay, guys. Then probably let's catch up tomorrow morning. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Uh,
Thank you.
Shekhar sir, I had provided one solution, sir. Was that syncing with the?
Oh yeah, that is true. You ping me on the JSON part of it, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, that is perfectly correct. I forgot to
Okay.
answer you back.
No
It's
problem, sir.
perfectly fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, right then. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.